And I read up on this. The first one was apparently originally going to be a Saw film, and then they were just like, no, they just reworked it.
Mm-hmm.
It really does feel like a rejected Saw script.
We were lucky to get out of those escape rooms alive.
I need to know that the criminals who killed 4 people in front of me are held accountable. They're hiding in plain sight in the middle of Manhattan. We need to stop them.
I'm in.
I know this is a lot to ask, but thank you for coming with me. Do you hear that?
Hey, what the hell is going on?
The train is in trouble! You're gotta be kidding me.
Hold on!
We need to stop! We're gonna get us killed. I'm not playing your game! Not now! Not ever!
Tell us about Escape Room Tournament of Champions.
Our two leads, the survivors of the first one, they're not happy with how things ended. They need to find out who this corporation is. And so they spend a little bit of time. The opening, they spend a little bit. First of all, there's a recap like previously on Escape Room.
But then when she gets to the psychiatrist, I shouldn't interrupt you. Because the psychiatrist or psychologist or whatever kind of recaps everything. Again.
I told her about my mother, plane crash.
And what did she say?
And so the psychiatrist is, talking to her about her trauma. And there's this scene where it's the same scene. She looks at her pen and she's like, this is a clue.
So deep inside the game world that every single thing you see is a clue. This is a clue. This is a clue. This is a clue.
And then it's a thing with free will. They're telegraphing it. Like, it's like free will. And it's like, oh, that's what it's about.
We do find it at the end because I didn't catch it. Well, neither of us caught it the first time.
No.
In the psychologist's office, there's a picture of a lighthouse behind her, and the lighthouse is a big part of. I can't even say midpoint. I don't know. The structure boggles my mind.
Yeah. They go to New York. They drove there because she has a fear of flying, and that's something they mention kind of over and over because, like in the first one, you find out that she had a plane crash and her mom died there, and so she has a fear of flying.
What would it take to finally get you on that plane?
They go to, the location of where that place is. They run into a junkie. He steals her pendant. It was a compass. Steals her compass and runs away. They chase him into a subway. He leaves. And then it's funny because they're seeking that corporation out. So that first set piece was really fucking stupid. Because, look, I'm not an electrician, but I'm pretty sure that's not how electricity works.
I got when the Tesla coils came out, and you're like, oh, look, it's the Nebuchadnezzar.
It's the Nebuchadnezzar.
So, yeah, there's electricity, and one of the guys dies immediately, because there's always cannon fodder.
Oh, they all find out that they're all survivors.
Yeah, yes, that's right. Because the one woman whose name I don't remember.
I don't remember all of
their
names.
I don't remember any of their names. I don't remember the main character's
I don't know
names.
the main character's name.
She's like...
That makes this what? Tournament of Champions?
And then Jason and I looked, was like,
That's the name of the movie! Okay, so the set pieces were, so they get there, it's the subway, then it's the bank. Okay. Yeah, because they got through the vault, then they were in the tunnel where they had a moment to talk. They get out of the tunnel and they're on a beach.
Yeah.
They're on a beach.
I actually liked that set piece. that one was interesting to me. I kind of laughed at it a little bit because I'm like, even quicksand, I'm like...
With the bubbling quicksand?
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know if that's how that works. A lot of the set pieces, I'm like, I don't know if that's how that works, but...
The priest who somehow died even though the main guy didn't die
the same
way.
Yeah.
Because if you didn't see it, it didn't happen.
Which, okay, look, that's a thing. Did they really die? But, like, I kind of found it really cheap where they're like, did you see it happen, though?
Mm-hmm. It was weird. They set up a thing where in that scene where it looks like two characters die and the other three female characters get separated.
Which was cool.
We learned that the one who said tournament champions can't feel pain.
I can't feel physical pain.
To no effect later on. In the immediate next one, they're reconnected.
Yeah, okay, so that was really stupid, right? I thought it would be really cool to have them separate, and I thought what was going to happen was the person who went through the expected exit point, I thought she would have her own room, and I thought they would have their own room, and I thought that would have been really cool to split them up.
Or they would have been like, no, we can't leave her. We have to go back into the
game.
Yeah,
exactly.
Or some sort of...
Yeah.
They think they're in the streets of New York City. We know they're not.
Yep.
They get it, they go to the sewer, then the one who got separated runs up, she's like, no! And it rains acid every minute. Through convoluted reasons, the main female character... Zoe, yes.
Okay. Zoe. Yeah, Zoe.
So Zoe gets away.
Okay, but they should have gone into the phone booth, though.
The phone booth door closed.
Oh.
The other two die. The one who can't feel pain dies with the one who, with the normal
The one who
woman.
can feel pain.
Then Zoe ends up in a child's room where...
Oh, yeah, so this is the big reveal.
Oh my God.
The woman from True Blood,
yeah,
who was in the first one and died.
I think she was the one who wrote these puzzles. Is that what I...
Oh, maybe.
I think that she said yes because they wanted to get Zoe to write them.
Yeah.
To create the puzzles.
So that's the whole thing, is that Deborah... I think her real name is Deborah Jo Rupp. She's like, Zoe, they want you to do the next puzzle.
Yeah.
And to coerce her in, her friend, whose name I can't remember, who appeared to die but didn't die.
We'll call him John.
John. I want to say it's Ben.
Yeah,
I could be wrong.
maybe. He was a shithead in the first one. I actually enjoyed him in this one a little bit more. Because he was kind of annoying in the first one.
So they have him in Houdini tank and they're pumping water in.
It really was.
And then she's like, no, I'm not going to play your game.
She should have said yes.
Infiltrate them from the inside.
Yeah.
And then they pull the gas line to
from the fireplace, yeah.
And she has a lighter, which I don't remember... I don't remember having that before. Like, did they show it earlier?
So he was smoking against smoking.
Right.
And
Yes.
She took it
okay.
From him.
So this was good though, because at least earlier.
No, I'm not spending the next 2 days in a car full of smoke with you.
Then she has a lighter later.
So that was a good setup and payoff.
Yeah. She throws it, and it turns the gas line into a blowtorch.
It took a really long time though. Like he was like
so he's drowning, and then of course the glass explodes and all the water flows in, and the three of them think they found a way out.
Yeah, they pulled some boards from the wall,
and then they escaped to the streets of New York City.
Yeah. And then
and you think that you don't think that this is the climax.
No, it seems like I again she said it in the plane, but I even said like it seems too easy. Like they
because there's a point. I'm like, oh, this is midpoint. And Julian's like, it feels like all is lost. I'm like, well, there's no way. It's only been 45 minutes.
It was the all is lost for the movie. That's what that was. in a police station. And by the way, they must have gotten some local guy to play that police officer.
He was so bad.
He was so bad. He's like, "You've done it. You've won. We've been doing raids across the country. Congratulations." You know?
Sorry to interrupt. I'm Special Agent Freddie Will, rank point on the task force. I'm sorry nobody believed you before. However, because of your actions, they didn't have time to wipe the place. Hard drives, client lists. We're running raids across the country as we speak.
There's a news report with a shitty reporter and everything.
Oh, that was so, Aaron said once, he was like, "Oh, I don't, these movies don't know how to write, news reports." And it's so true. Ever since, that was said, I realized every time there's, a news report in the movie, it's always awkward, and you always know when it's not good.
We are here reporting live from a warehouse in downtown Manhattan, where local authorities have discovered 4 bodies and evidence of a grim criminal enterprise.
The whole thing just felt off. As it turns out, at this point, she overcomes her fear of flying.
It's just a good character moment.
And she's like, "Fly back to New York with me."
Yeah.
So they get on a plane, and you're like, "Oh, remember the plane from the first one?"
Yeah, they were setting up a simulation. They were, and it occurred to me because, at the very end of the first one, they set up they were testing out a puzzle, because you think it's a plane crash at the end of the first one, but it was just a simulation. And so I was like, oh, this might be this. It was preparing for this.
What would it take to get you on that plane?
I need to know that the criminals who killed the 4 people in front of me are held accountable for what they did.
We're running raids across the country as we speak.
And I need to know that they're never going to do it again to me or to anyone else.
How would a company know that was going to happen?
Oh my god. So they think they beat the bad guys, and they're on their way home, and then she hears the sound of her psychologist's alarm.
Yeah.
And she walks up to see an old lady. She's like, "Oh no, I don't know you," or whatnot.
Hello,
but then
dear.
she has the pen and the purse and the book.
This is a clue. This is a clue. This is a clue.
From the opening, and they give us flashbacks because the audience is stupid.
But I think it would have been so much better without the flashback. I mean, it wouldn't have been good either way, but I think it would have been better if
Go exactly. And then she turns around, Ben's like, What is it? What is it? Now, of course, the auction master falling from the ceiling, and then the dangerous voice like, "You don't end the game, we decide when the game ends."
So that's what pissed me off. That was what pissed me off. At least in the first one, they were kind of like this ominous. I hate token evil voice, "We've won," stuff like that. I hate that shit. And when they pulled that, I was like, you should have just. First of all, that's the end of the movie. It's 65 minutes into the movie.
Because I was like, no way. There's no way this is the end of the movie. It feels like it's like I said. I don't think it tops 70 minutes. Maybe with credits.
With credits, maybe 70.
We probably should have waited because I guarantee there's a post-credit scene.
Fucking cares. It's not worth it. But
but it feels like half a movie, and it just kind of ends, and it's
okay. So
it made me more mad
than the first
than leaving the first one.
So the first one, Jason and I saw when it came out, and our complaint was it took too long to end. There was a clear end point in the first one, and you're like, okay, if it had have ended there, you're like, okay, that was pretty good. It's not great, but it's it's serviceable. This one, it's almost like, and I did read up, people did complain about the many endings.
Look, it wasn't good.
No,
it wasn't good. It was we say this a lot. It wasn't good or great. It was entertaining. The set pieces were interesting. A number of things were done right, like the setups and payoffs.
They really make you suspend disbelief with those set pieces, though.
Oh, they do.
But look, again, first of all, there's so many of them where I'm like, you're all screaming when you don't have to scream.
Yeah.
The bank one specifically, yes, time was of the essence, but they don't have to scream.
I feel like in this case, they're all supposed to be main characters because it's a people trapped in an escape room.
Yeah.
But I feel like it was rushed. The characters we meet right before right before switching from Act 1 to Act 2, they don't get any development. Like we barely know them. They kind of gloss over it.
At least in the first one, they gave character development to all of them. They all had their talk moment where they told them about them.
One of the other problems too is I had trouble hearing them in several places.
I did too.
We were, because of COVID restrictions, the only seats left were in row 1, directly below the screen.
Yeah, we were like...
It was very difficult to see because I'll see if that picture I took shows kind of the angle, but everything looked distorted, so it was really hard to kind of do this.
Yeah, we had to be seated like this, you know.
So that was uncomfortable. So that in itself probably took away from the experience.
It did. I think I'll want to see it again, only because, is it good? No, but is it like terrible? I don't think so. I think it's just like a nothing movie, though.
Look, if you've got less than 2 episodes of television time to waste,
go see it, man. Yeah. Okay, here's the baddest for me, right? Mm-hmm. The only characters we know anything about are the 2 leads.
Yeah.
And
who were so inconsequential after 2 movies we don't know their names.
Yeah, exactly. So Zoe is definitely her name. Mm-hmm. But the other dude, don't know his name. Anyway, so, okay, back to my point.
Right.
I really, if it's an ensemble movie, which these are, it's a group of people, I think it would have been better to start with the new people coming in. Mm-hmm. So if you had started with the new people in their daily lives, like the same way they did in the first one, and then they end up in the first set piece, and then the other 2 show up, that would have been way better, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because at least then you start with the people that you're bringing into it, these new characters, because then we would have cared more when they were in peril.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Without any major character development, it doesn't matter. You don't care.
They're just people on a train. Yeah. You know? It would have been cool to like trick the audience into thinking like, oh, maybe this is just a new set of people. Yeah. And then, there's the other 2 the survivors from the first one.
The on their way over, I said to Julian, like, because I confirmed the name, Escape Room Tournament Champions. I'm like, well, it's just Hunger Games.
It is Hunger Games.
Because is it the first one that what's her name and PETA both win, and then they're called back in. They've got to go back into the games because of stakes and plot and whatnot.
It's the Hunger Games and Saw had a love child.
Yeah.
There were interesting set pieces. The bank one was probably my favorite. But there was one point in the bank one where I'm like, at the beginning when they step on the square, all the lasers come on at once. Yeah. And then at the end, when they are escaping, the Zoe's escaping, they're coming on
sequentially. It's like,
Are you just assuming we didn't remember the first time?
The rules, in-universe rules, don't always track.
Exactly. And so the set pieces were cool. I think that like it's too unbelievable though, where it's like, okay, how are they faking? It looked like they were on a street, and then it was just a wall. You know? I mean, I guess it's a hologram, but like, we don't have hologram.
My biggest complaint with the first one was the escape room technology in itself. Yeah. If anyone's watched the movie, it's basically a holodeck. Is what it seems like, because when they get there with the police, the place is cleared out, which really bothered me because I'm like, I'm not willing to accept that level of tech and that ability to clean up the site within hours.
Yeah.
So that's my complaint with that. Because their escape rooms vary with the level of detail, because when they were on the beach, it was clearly a wall. But when they were in the first movie, when they were in the wilderness cabin,
it seemed like there was a big forest.
They ended the first one a certain way, but they didn't pick up where that left off. They kind of reset the character. It's like, oh, you were going to go to New York, but then you didn't. Yeah. And
They should have started with them in New York. I mean,
well, yeah, because here's the thing. Zoe was essentially the main character in the first one, and Zoe's the main character again. To put her through the same character growth twice isn't necessarily that satisfying. The good...
Look, I'm going to be real with you. I can't really think of much good. I like Zoe as a character.
Yeah. It's not bad, but it's not good.
It's kind of just like it's like a 6 out of 10 for me, you know? Like, it's like...
don't get me wrong. Engagement level is good. I mean, it's not like a Neil Breen movie.
On a technical scale, it's good. It's got some good effects. I don't think it's a very high-budget movie, so they do a good job in utilizing their budget.
Yeah.
The stakes are high. It's kind of... You turn your brain off, you watch the movie. And that's fine, because there are times where it's like, I want to just watch a stupid movie.
I mean, okay, yeah, I'll give you that. So I'm going to revise it too. It is an engaging movie, because even visually, even picking it apart while you're watching it, you're engaged with what you're seeing on screen.
Yeah.
So that... I dislike the first one. This is an unworthy successor to that.
Yeah.
Is that a good way to say it?
That's a good way to say it, for sure. I disliked the first one because of the 17 endings that they had.
They got out of the escape room, then the guy tried to kill Ben.
And then Zoe saves him. And then they have the police bringing them to the location. And then they're on the patio, and she's like, look at all the research I've done. Here's plane tickets. And then there's the people on the plane, and it's a test. Like, you know, that's 4 endings.
Right. Okay, coming back to what I said earlier, that's what really bothered me.
Yeah.
The building in the first one seemed like a holodeck.
Yeah.
Because just the tech and the scope of their escape rooms. But then at the end, they're not even in a plain body with its wings removed. It's like they built the physical structure of a plane, less the outer skin, furnished the inside like a plane. It's holy fuck.
Yeah, it's such a nothing movie is what I'll say. It's like a... If it's on TV, I'll probably stop to watch some, I'll probably stop to watch it.
Say it's a terrible movie. Would recommend.
Yeah, kind of, actually. It's the best way to describe it. If you want to just turn your brain off and watch some stupid fucking thrilling moments, go watch it, because it's stupid, it's thrilling.
Yeah, exactly.
It's entertaining.
Turn off the if you turn off the critical aspect of your viewership, then
go for stupidity, man.
It's short. I mean, it's a good...
Look, let's say the movie starts at 7 and you have plans at like 8:45. You'd make your plans. You'd make it to those plans. So, just watch the damn movie if you're bored on a Saturday afternoon and you have nothing to do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This guy knows what it's about.
Thanks, guys. Guy, one person.
Our viewer.
Thank you, viewer.
I think we'll have a couple.
Yeah. We'll have a couple. It'll be our friends.
It'll be fun. All right.
Bye.
Bye.